Hey guys, sorry for the shaky camera again. I'm filming off my phone as well. I don't know if I brought my memory card or not, so that's just like a stupidity moment for me. It's not. I don't know. Anyways, so today I wanted to talk about my pets. Pumpkin, Henry, and Fleur. So I have two cats. Pumpkin, who's 16. He's the orange cat with green eyes. And then we have Fleur, who is going to be 2 in just a few days. And she has black fur with a little bit of gray white on her stomach, and she has kind of yellowy orange eyes. And then we have Mr. Henry, the little puppy, who's going to be 1 in a few days. Fleur and Henry have about the same birthday. Which actually today might be his birthday, now that I think about it. Either way, whoa, gross. Yeah, anyways. He is quite the handful. So I'll start off with Henry. My mom got him for Christmas for a present, and he was adopted from an Amish, I guess, family in Pennsylvania. He's half Chihuahua, half Poodle, so he's a Chipu. And he's a very sweet puppy, but he's very rambunctious. He likes to get into trouble. He's not neutered, so he has certain urges that my other animals don't have. So he likes to explore those urges, if you know what I mean, via his bed or toys that he has. So that's always special to encounter. And then, what else? Yeah, he's a pretty extroverted dog. Someone commented one time that they think Henry's an ESFP. I could definitely see that. Henry and I have a very close relationship. He's very sweet, but also he just does not think about things. He's very present-minded. Like, he'll try to go after Fleur and play with her and run around, and Pumpkin gets very upset when he sees that. Or even, Pumpkin just gets annoyed of Henry in general. And whenever Henry does that, Pumpkin always lashes out, yet Henry acts so surprised every time. And he even does things that he knows Pumpkin's gonna get upset about, yet he still continues to do them. But he's a crazy little boy. I love him very much, and he sleeps with me every night, which once we move, I'm not gonna be sleeping with any of the animals because it's not really good for me, allergy-wise. So now I'm going to move on to Fleur. Fleur, again, is almost 2 years old. I got her December 2016, and her story is kind of interesting. I actually originally went to the pound. It was a kill shelter in Georgia. I went there with my friend Anna because we were going to adopt a little kitten that looked like Pumpkin, a little orange Maine Coon. And so I saw this little kitten on the internet, and we were gonna get it for Anna. And then when we go to the pound, or the kill shelter, we see that not only is that kitten there, but also the kitten's brother, who was the exact same color. He was slightly different looking, but he kind of reminded me of Pumpkin, like a younger version of Pumpkin. I think his name was William. And the original name of Anna's kitten was Harry, but she renamed him Raja. So my plan after that I was going to go home, sleep on it, and if I really wanted to adopt that kitten, the next morning I would go and adopt it. And this is why I cannot go to kill shelters or pounds or anything like that, because I will adopt animals. So I go back with my sister the next day thinking that we were going to adopt William, but he was already adopted. So I was looking around and I saw this kitten, or I guess cat. Kitten is the more appropriate term because she was like 6 months old. Maybe a year. I don't know. Sorry. This cat that was in the shelter for a while, and she was really sweet. But just knowing how Pumpkin is, and he's a very dominant cat, very high maintenance in many ways, I was convinced otherwise by my sister to look in another room that I had not looked in when I first went there. And she found 2 black kittens at the bottom of this little cage, these little sets of cages. And one of the black kittens was just like running around in the cage and was scratching and like playing. And like when they let the kittens out, that kitten was running around and acting crazy. And then there was another kitten that was in the back of the cage, hiding in the cat litter box. She was actually sitting in the cat litter box and shivering, very scared, very timid. And so both my sister and I, Anna, agreed that that was the kitten that we were going to adopt. Because I always like to adopt the more timid kittens rather than the ones that seem super hyper and playful, because I think a lot of people like the more playful ones, and then the ones that are shy are usually or less likely to be adopted. So I decided to adopt her, and her original name was Onyx, which is kind of a cool name, but that is Fleur. And she had slightly different fur texture to her sister. Her fur was a little bit more like a raven's feather, and she also had a little white spot on her stomach, which she still has, but she's also becoming more and more gray. I think the kind of cat she is called a Tiffany. It's like some other word that starts with C, but I can't remember how it's pronounced or what it looks like. Anyways, so that's what Fleur is, and we got Fleur, and we had to do a kind of initiation process with her. We couldn't just bring her in, and because we tried that and Pumpkin did not, he like growled at her and hissed. But after putting her in the bathroom and letting Pumpkin get to know her and stuff, they became really good friends. So I guess moving on to Pumpkin. I'm sorry I'm kind of going fast. I'm about to get off my lunch break and I need to hurry up. Pumpkin, I was 9 when we adopted Pumpkin, and his story is really interesting because I had a cat named Sydney who was black and white, and he died because he had a lot of medical complications. He died at 11, and so that was the cat that I had. They had that cat even before I was born, so I had him for 9 years. So Sydney was a really good first friend of mine, and I consider he was almost like an older brother figure. And we actually adopted a cat in between Pumpkin and Sydney that we named Mara, and she was a calico cat, but the pound that we adopted her at, they ended up getting like shut down because of unethical practices. Turns out she had some type of internal thing wrong with her that she only lasted 3 days, and she died at our house. But she did die peacefully, and at least she died in a loving home. But that was very traumatic. Obviously, having just had a cat die and thinking, oh, this is gonna be my cat, I love her. And to make it worse, when I was younger, I felt very guilty because I still remember the time going to my playset outside, swinging on the swings, and we had Mara outside, and I was just like thinking, I was like, oh, wouldn't it be great if we had another cat too? Why am I crying? Ugh, I'm so, why I always cry, like, it's just sad, because she was a baby. She was like 6 months old when she died. She probably had, I don't know what she had, and I'm glad that Pounds was shut down. But I remember feeling so guilty that I asked for another cat, and it wasn't like I wanted another cat besides her, I just wanted another one, like, as well. And the next day she died, and oh, why am I getting emotional in this video? Sorry guys. So yeah, we adopted Pumpkin from this crazy lady. I forget, I think it was in Fayetteville, Georgia. She had over 200 cats in her house, and I remember walking into the house, and again, I was 9, my sister was 7, and my mom took us to adopt Pumpkin, and we go into the house, and I remember seeing multiple rooms. There was like a room for newborn kittens that were with their mothers. There was like this huge room of other cats, and then there was a room of like kittens that were like 8 to 10 weeks old, that were going to be adopted. And we go into this room, and there's all these kittens playing and acting crazy, and my sister liked this one kitten that she named Stinker and Boo. This other, sorry, oh, I just burped. Sorry guys. This other kitten named Boo, and they were both like kind of, Stinker smelled bad and Boo was just like crazy. But my sister wanted those kittens, and I think they were like black cats or something, or I forget. And then in this large room, there was like a bathroom that you could see across the way, and there was a little orange kitten hiding behind the toilet. And when I say little, he was bigger than all of the other kittens. Pumpkin's always been a bigger cat. He is a Maine Coon, so even though he was only like 8 or 9 weeks old, he was a lot, he was just like long, very long legs, long body, so cute. My mom actually spotted him first, and I said, this is the kitten I want. And the lady was like, you don't want that kitten, he's antisocial. And then my mom's like, that's the perfect kitten for us. Anyways, so we ended up adopting Pumpkin, and yeah, that was the beginning of a very long friendship. And I mean, I consider Fleur kind of my baby, Pumpkin my younger brother, and then Henry my brother. And I know some people may not see it that way, and I try not to like be like, oh yeah, I have a brother or something like that, but I do consider him, I consider them family. I would do anything for my pets. And yeah, Pumpkin is 16 now, so he's been through a lot. He's been illegally in my dorm in college. He has traveled across the country, so has Fleur. But like met hundreds of people. He's a legend, and I don't know if I've ever said this on my channel, but if reincarnation is real, if and when Pumpkin dies, if I'm still having children at that time, which hopefully I am, I also don't want him to die anytime soon, but let's say I am having kids at the time, I hope that if reincarnation is real, he comes back as one of my children, and he will be my favorite child. I say that. I probably won't, like, I mean, even if he does come back as one of my children, I don't know. So, if if for some reason my kids are watching this and you're Pumpkin, I love you the most. Just kidding. But that sounds really crazy. But yeah, I love animals, and that's briefly a story about them, and I'm going to insert some little footage that I just took in this morning, and maybe I'll take some more footage after this clip when I get home. But anyways, have a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Pumpkin, are you wanting food? Is that what you want? Fleur, hello. Hey, Henry. Who's a handsome boy? Who's so handsome? Who's so handsome? Hello, Pumpkin. Hello, Lovers. Oh my gosh, it's a meow. This is how they are in the morning. This little boy tries to eat their food. Don't you, misters? Don't deny it, little boy. I see that little boss. Wow. You want to be on camera, Pumpy? Or do you just want the foods? Okay guys, I was not planning this, and you're kind of seeing the interesting side of this place. But my mom just like put this thing on Henry like a crazy person. Henry, what is that on you? Did mommy do crazy things? Is mommy a crazy little mommy? You're so cute, Henry. You're such a good boy. You look so sparkly. Hello. Hello. Oh, look at the nice mess in the corner. Okay. Say goodbye, Henry. Say goodbye to everybody. Good night. Bye.